Good evening, beta, all of you. Are you able to see me? Am I audible? Okay, I want all of you join because the number which I could see is very less. Ask, either call your friends or ask them to join. Okay, because today I'm going to discuss very significant aspect, and today there is no PPT. I'm going to read out, speak up, and you have to make notes. So please, okay, very nice. So because there are the number which I could see is very less, and in our group we have more than 72 students. Can we can we wait for a while, or voice is quite low? Okay, my voice is quite low. No, I think I'm speaking on my full volume. There is no extra device I have. Is it okay now? Is my voice okay now? Amreen? And I have dropped the material in your group also. I have many more, but I'm not dropping because otherwise you guys will get confused. So today I'm going to, actually there is a material available with me and we are going to study, right? So am I audible? Okay, fine, fine. Give me a minute. Okay, so actually I could see less number. So should I start? Should I start? I could see less number. Now, yes. So we are doing Nuns Priest Tale today. Okay, Nuns Priest Tale, which is in your syllabus. And there is one more thing I have for you today. We will discuss questions also. So remember, I told you that I'm not able to get my questions. I got my all of my questions. So now I'll tell you later on. But now we are going to. Yes, the study of Nuns Priest Tale. Listen carefully. The distinctive quality of a narrative act of Chaucer has been brought out. It has been shown the story is characteristics of the storyteller. The irony and drama of the story have been brought out. So what we see in Nun's Priest's Tale, when you are writing Nun's Priest's Tale, NPT you can write down. NPT, capital NPT. Okay. So this tells among the tale of Canterbury Tales, we have shown that it is, in other context, these are Chaucer's tale. We have briefly mentioned the framework of the whole poem. So what are the general idea, general prologue, and particularly what is about this Nun's Priest Tale, NPT? The complex formal design of tale we suggest should be analyzed into the following main elements. So what is there in Nun's Priest Tale? Sermon. Please write down. Are you writing? Reflection, mock heroic, comedy, the dream stories and the debate on dream, the theme and the tale. So these are the main points you need to write down. What is there in the main, what are the main elements? What are the main elements in Nun's Priest Tales, NPT? Please write down sermon, 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 reflection, mock heroic, comedy, the dream stories and the debate on dream, the theme, and I'm repeating. See, these are the main elements in Nun's Priest Tales, NPT. Main elements in Nun's Priest Tales, NPT, that is sermon, 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 reflection, 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 mock heroic, MOCK, mock dash HEROIC. Next is comedy, 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 and next is the dream. In this dream, the definition is the dream stories and the debate on dream. First of all, people are sharing their dreams, and then whatever dream is being seen, they are discussing the elements in the dream. For example, there are a number of sayings we also have in India. Like if you see snakes in your dream, if you see water in your dream, they all have some different meanings. So in this way, we are analyzing, we'll be analyzing dream and the tale. So what is the tale exactly? I'm repeating, Amreen. I'm repeating sermon, reflection, mock heroic, comedy, the dream and the interpretation of dream, the themes and the tale. These are the main elements of NPT, Nun's Priest Tale. Sermon, reflection, mock heroic, comedy, the dream and the interpretation of dream, the theme and the tale. Now, how these each element are significant? Okay, so I'm giving you the significance of these elements. The Canterbury Tale and the general prologue. So in general prologue, because when we are talking about Canterbury Tale or when Chaucer's Tale, we are not looking everything in isolation. We are looking somewhere, it's a related ideas and themes. So in general prologue, and these are the line number I'm repeating, 785 to 800. Please note down. The general prologue lines are 785 to 800. The poet makes the host devise the narrative plan. This is a dramatic manner of stating the plan. And the fact that the plan turns out to be too ambitious sheds ironic light on it. The host plan is not the poet's according to the plan. The Canterbury Tales should have had 124 stories. Please note down how many stories would be there in Canterbury Tale. 124 stories. 124 stories. But it has only 20 complete and 4 incomplete ones. Or the tale is determined variously in Ellesmere and other manuscripts. The poet has left that undecided, but the poem is an aesthetic whole. So, the number which is given is 124, but what we see, generally we see it has completely 12 uh, 20 complete tales and 24 and 4 incomplete. Now you have to write down, make notes. The three main structural unit of Canterbury Tale, CT. When you are writing Canterbury Tale, just write down CT. The general prologue, one is general prologue, second is the tales, and third is talk on the road, linking them and providing a lively a transition from one tale to another. NPT, Nun's Priest Tale, is not an isolated tale. It belongs to a series of tales. It is therefore useful to have an idea of the general perspective of the Canterbury Tale. The idea of another tale in outline will make you see places of NPT in the whole scheme better. The knight appropriately granted the privilege of telling the first tale. Tell a romantic story in the heroic manner. His tale of the contest of Palamon and Arskite for a love of Emily is full of philosophical reflection. An example is the following line from a speech of Theseus, and I read the lines. The first, moreover, of the cause above, when he first makes the fair chain of love. Great was their effect, and high was his intenti. Well wish he by, and what there of the mentee. The fire, the air, the water, and the land in certain boundaries that they may not flee. After the knight's tale, we have the miller's tale. Hmm. We have the miller's tale of the Oxford carpenter persuaded by his wife and clerk to sit all night in tub to be ready to row away from Noah's flood came again. The contrast between the romantic and the realistic and serious and comic is illustrated in the different style of these first two tales. The third tale, the REEVE apostrophe S, Reeves, answer the miller's ridicule of the old carpenter by a story ridiculing a miller. The following the cook unfinished tale, next we have the prose tale of Melibee told by the poet himself. This is followed by the man of law's tale. Then we have shipman's tale in which a merchant is deceived by his wife and a mocked. The next tale, Priories, is of the little cloister murdered by Jews and his devotion to the Blessed Virgin and of the miracle the Virgin wrought for him. This is followed by Chaucer's tale of Sir Thopas, written as a parody of old romance of chivalry. Then we have the monk's tale of the fall of princes. Our next is NPT comes after this. The Doctor of a Physic tale of Apineus and Virginia follows it. The next tale, The Partners, is of the three writers who went in quest of death and found him in their greed for gold. Next, the wife of Bath's tale of the condemned knight saved by an old woman who taught him the answer to riddle, and she had made him promised beforehand to marry her, and on his marrying her, becoming a beautiful girl. Then we have Friar's tale of summoners who was seized by the devil. The summoneers retails in his tale which follows. Then the clerk's tale, which is an old rendering by the poet's Petrarch Latin story of the patience of Grit's slide. The merchant's tale, which follows, answer the clerk the story of the young wife deceived her old husband. The squire's tale of Cumbuscan and his fair daughter Cane Canesi. Video is lagging. But are you able to listen my voice? Hello? Are you able to listen my voice? Is my voice clear to you? Okay, thank you. So, no, you just listen now. You just listen. Maybe things are not clear, but gradually you will understand it. The square's tale of Cambuscan and his fair daughter Kaneki and magic sword, mirror and ring is followed by the Franklin's tale of the truth of the Droigan and generosity of the square and astrologer. Then comes the second nun's tale of Saint Cecilia's. Next, we have the canon's Eoman's tale of how another canon cheated a priest by pretending the transmute silver into gold. This is followed by Mancipul's tale of how Apollo punished a cow for revealing a woman's untruth. The last tale by Parson is prose sermon in the seven deadly sins and true patience. Neither in epic nor a single narrative, uh, Chaucer's tale is a unique medley. The tale exemplified two central themes: the familiar human instinct of sex and acquisitiveness, two of the seven deadly sins, lechery and avarice, and G.L. Kitteridge. Now, please write down the name G.L. Kitteridge, Kittredg, Kitteridge. Regarded Chaucer's tale as a kind of human comedy in which the pilgrims are dramatic person and the stories are only speeches that are somewhat longer than common entertaining in them and for themselves to be sure, but primarily significant in each case. They illustrate the speaker's character and opinion and show the relation of the travelers one another in the progressive action of pilgrimage. He spoke of the marriage act of human comedy, which the wife of Baths at near the center of the stage. The famous in line spoken by the wife is not unrelated to the cook's infatuation with Hanin nun's priest tale. She exclaimed the prologue to her tale, and I'm reading this from the nun's priest tale. Alas, alas, that our love was shin, and the cock adopted a line from the Latin Bible, woman is manner, men's joy, and all his bliss. The talk on the road. The third structural component linked the tale together. The host, who is personally conducting the hour tour, dominates the talk. He is tactful, alert, and humorous. When he has exchange of angry abuse with partners, and night intervenes as a peacemaker. Quarrels and disputes in the talk of the road, however, center around the age of war of the sexes. Strikingly, there are many confessions in the talk. The wife of Bath, the partners, the canon, yeomans said, and the merchants. These confessions give the talk as an air of honesty and sincerity, a sure sign of spiritual progress. The poet restricts conclusion of poem, revealing the spiritual and symbol aspect of the realistic language. So it may be suggested that the pilgrimage is a masquerade unmasking the real self of the pilgrimage, including the poet. I don't know whether you guys are understanding or not, but just listen carefully. The Decameron by Boccaccio in the Italian language has been held by Chaucer's scholarship to be close parallel to the Canterbury Tales in many aspects. The general topic of its tales are very similar to those of the Chaucer. Four of the Boccaccio's tales are analog to four Chaucer's and Boccaccio's apology of the impropriety of some of his stories. He makes the same defense as offered by Chaucer's Two Small Fault, but the unity, balance, neatness, and symmetry of the Boccaccio's plan with the diversity and lack of paint. In Decameron, 100 stories are told in 10 days, 10 on each day, and one in each a member of the group of 10. Another Italian connection of the story is the novella, nobili. You might have heard about Italian novella, nobili. N-O-V-E-L-L, the N-O-V-L-L-E, by Giovanni's Secrambi of Lucca, an imitation of the Decameron, contains 155 stories. All of the tales in these are told by the author himself. The framing story of the novella, a detailed narrative of the routine events in contrast with the human comedy of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. Both Boccaccio and Cramby were contemporaries of Chaucer, but there is no evidence of Chaucer's having met them in course of visiting to Italy. So, I mean, I am not going to give you even conclusion, but I'm whatever I'm speaking, please note it down. Now, uh, and the probable question I'm telling you, what could be the question? Describe the narrative plan of Canterbury Tale. Who advised it? Refer to the lines of G.K. Kitteridge. Critically examine the author's argument of the plan. Is Canterbury Tale in unfinished poem? Mention two other poems, unfinished poems in English. What are the three structural units of Canterbury Tales? How they are related? Do the tales have any unifying theme or themes? Mention two striking features of talk on the road. Then attempt a comparison of the following lines. Alas, alas, that ever lover shine, woman is man's joy and his bliss. So now what is this storytelling? What is the storytelling of the Nun's Priest Tales? So you please write down NPT. NPT collocates a number of stories. Some of them are dream stories or stories about dreams, told by the cock and the priest. The widow, the protagonist of the story, which is setting of the comic fable of the cook, hen, and the fox. In contrast, at once the cook, cock, and nun by implication. The dream stories are embedded in a fable. The fable is widow's story in the priest, priest tale, priest in Canterbury. Chaucer's story to primary reader, both oral and written form of communication are relevant. You are readers, readers reading to tell a new thing, and I shall help you interpret it critically. It has become a text which form part of the canon in British poetry and its readers from an elite community which consists of many groups. Ours is the group of the Indian scholars of English literature. The cock and the priest and the poets are the three storytelling of the tale. The first two are created by the third. Even readers recreate them, all of mine. Fictions and histories are mixed up in the process. The literary genre of narrative poetry is medieval Europe and Chaucer's England should be appreciated in the light of an observation of Northrop Fryer. People don't think up a set of assumption or belief. They think up the set of stories and derive the assumptions or belief from the stories. So, in this way, we are trying to find out what is exactly there in Nun's Priest Tales. And one of the significant aspects we come to know, that is Nun's Priest Tale is uh, it's a dream sequel. Whatever dream is being seen, now it is being interpreted in a different way. There are certain short questions I'm reading out. Amplify order giving and order finding. How the fiction and symbol are related. Is the linguistic symbol fabricated or feigned? What is convention language in language and literature? Describe function of fiction. How do stories record experience or existence? How they ideology and mythology related? Does the fiction help us now, or the stories like dream? Discuss them. 10 sentence. So this is a very significant question, that in Nuns Priest Tales NPT, how this story is being, how the dream is being, how the dream is being interpreted. So the poet and the other characters in the Nuns Priest Tale. So the moral, the debate, and the theme. We are going to study about the significant aspects. Now please listen carefully. Okay, right now. So the priest, the poet, and the other characters in the Nun's Priest Tale. Yes, like Shakespeare, Chaucer did not invent his stories. The closest possible parallel or source of the story of NPT is found in the Roman de Renard 13th century French collection of the satirical fable. The digression or dream and reflective passages are Chaucer's original contribution. The comic, mock, heroic, and the historical aspects of the form of the tale are the gift of Chaucer's genius. Now, please listen carefully. Again, I repeat, what is there in the Nun's Priest Tales? Chaucer did not invent his stories the way Shakespeare invented. The closest possible parallel or source of the story of NPT is found in Roman de Renard, the 13th century French collection of the satirical fable. The digression on dream and reflective passages are Chaucer's original contribution. So, a digression on dream and reflective passages are Chaucer's original contribution. The comic, mock, heroic, and a historical aspect of the form of the tale are the gift of Chaucer's genius. What makes the tale dramatic is that the author does not say a single word directly. In the prologue or the tale, the knight, the host, and the priest talk. In the main body, the priest, the storyteller, the character of the tale talk. The poet is almost unheard except in phrase like quoth the knight and quoth ours host in the prologue to tale and in the couplet of the epilogue. The narrator's author identify it with, however, apparent in the reflective passages, particularly the passage on necessity, condition, the passage on Geoffrey de Winsouth, and author of the Poetria Nora. The 12th century treatise of the rhetoric, that is line number 581 to 88. The former is serious while the latter is ironic and serio-comic. The passage on man-woman relationship, line number 491 to 500, it has been suggested that the tacit support of the author. The three human characters, the prioress, the priest, and the widow. Okay, these are the main characters in Chaucer's tale. So, prioress, priest, and the widow are of the creatures of the imagination and belong to the background of the tale on which the foreground is occupied by the animal character. The priest is narrator detached from the author, unlike the wife of Bath or partner's tale. He is not portrayed in the it not portrays in the general prologue. Therefore, after portrait of the nun, we have the following couplet. Another nun with here headed she, that was a Capillinei and Pristhi. So, Skeet comment. Chaucer wrote this couplet in forgetfulness of his general scheme and omitted to reconcile them. It is in his couplet that we have first mention of the priest and one of the three. He is later identified as a John and host in the prelude to NPT. The host requests him to tell Mary tale and complies. So skeet commit. Okay, that we have done. The physical features are described by the host in epilogue. The host uh, jocularly says that if the priest were secular, he would be a cook used purpose of breeding. His strong muscles, thick neck, and large chest are described. The poet provides some glimpses into the character. His jade is foul and lean. The suggest attitude to the rich or the rich life of ostentation. He is ironic enough to hint subtle similarity between his mistreat and a cook on the one hand and implicit contrast of the priest with view of the chosen. Critics have suggested that the poet present him as a sly misogynist. But above all, is an excellent storytelling, appropriately a sermon, the story of mock heroic and reflect the characters of the storytelling who faintly reflect the author. The priest is ironically the confessor and spiritual advisor to the prioress. At the same time, dependent on her for livelihood, he cautioned priest, "I can none harm of no one divine," and his ironic instances on the truth of his story. That is line number 446 to 45 to 46. Comprising it is the woman's favorite book of the Lancelot de Lac of him as a critical attitude of chivalry and romance. The priest is ironically the widow is only one human character in the story who is described by at any length. That is line number 55 to 80. Her simple life is illustrated in her slender meal, line number 67 to 80. The implicit contrast with the prioress is seen better if affection, the courtly manner, and prioress describe the general prologue are compared with the simple life of widow. She is detailed and allegorical but realistically particularized. Consider line number 66 and 67. The number of the daughters rows and kine and sheep that might male insufficient competence of detail. See, today I will be stopping here only because I just have some urgent work. So kindly forgive me. We'll continue. I mean, when I'm taking, if tomorrow I can do, I'll just inform you before time. But anyway, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is fixed for us. So today I just need to go for some urgent work. Kindly forgive me. Thank you. I'm ending it. It's okay. Okay.